What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Zach's Live Trader. Here with you, as always, I am the bearded boy wonder, Dave Bartosiak, and today, my friends, I'm ready to whip this laptop off the balcony. That's right. Never a dull moment in the market, and that's it. That's just how I'm gonna describe it. Is the reason why this thing. This HIIQ, man. They are destroying this thing again today. And I'm furious. I'm just beside myself on this thing, man. I don't get it, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to have to do some damage control. Some serious damage control on this one. I still personally think I'm going to be adding to this bad boy. Because I don't get it. Everything I read that comes from the company or from anybody is that, this is all a temporary thing and this is all going to get worked out, whatever. But I think what the market's saying is, management, how could you even allow this to get remotely close to what it is? And I think that's what this is. More than anything is just a vote of no confidence on the management based on what's happened. So despite what the numbers are. So this one might fade into the land of value for a while. But Trevor, 99% of the time when there's no audio, give yourself a little refresh there on your YouTube. It's been happening to me with YouTube too, where I'll just play like a regular video and I won't have any audio. But everything looks good here as far as my streaming is concerned. So we're all good here. Okay, so that's my frustration. I'm done venting now. Now here's the good news. Jabble, my friends. JBL! How many people took the trade that pays? I hope there are a couple of you. And this is it, man. This is the thing. I feel like when you have a stock down at the 200-day and it's heading into earnings and it doesn't look terrible, you just got to go long, I think is the thing. It worked, so that's good. So we do have a victory in Live Trader. You don't have to reboot, you just have to refresh. Anyway, so that's what I think. So that's victorious, so I'm happy about that. What were we, the 29.50 call spread on that? So that looks good. Did anybody buy a lotto ticket? That's what I want to know. Who bought the lotto? Hopefully somebody got in on some lotto action because I think it ended up paying off. It was, what, the 29.50 we talked about yesterday? And that might pay off and be fantastic here. Okay, let's get to the task at hand. And that's KB Home, ticker KBH. Let's look at what's happening here on the technical chart first. 50-day, 200-day. So it's kind of pressing up against the bottom of this 50-day moving average. I'd much rather like it. So this is a different scenario, right, than what we had with JBL. It's not approaching the 200-day and finding a boost. Now it's approaching the 50-day and running into some resistance. It's funny how these stocks have a tendency to sort of run into these resistance levels or support levels right before earnings. Another thing that points out, I've got my horizontal histogram of volume here. And look at this dramatic sort of market point of control right where we're at right now, okay? That ought to tell you something. One thing it tells you is that a lot of buyers were stepping up in here and getting this thing in the 20s, in the low 20s, 21. A lot of people were paying here, okay? So that put in a nice little floor in the short term. Kind of a loose floor, but floor nonetheless. They were buying, okay? They were buying. Now, is it enough? Money flows were negative throughout this period. I mean, makes sense, right? But then now are threatening to turn positive. If you can get a crossover here, that's textbook. You already have an oversold commodity channel index, which has crossed over the zero line, giving you a more traditional buy signal here. So from the technicals in the short term, bullish. However, a little worried about that 50-day, but maybe we don't have to be so worried. This money flow continues on. We are golden, my friends. Okay, so there's that. Now let's get to our more traditional analysis. That's with the price consensus and EPS surprise chart here on Zacks.com. The black line corresponds to the right y-axis, which is price. Multicolored lines represent the evolution of our Zacks consensus estimates and coincide with the left y-axis. Red arrows, earnings misses. Green arrows, earnings beats. Seems like this sort of last quarter of the year, first quarter of the year, they can't quite figure it out ever. Right? You see that? Although they did this time. The other thing is, even with a beat, sometimes the market doesn't like it. Now, it's been choppy, absolutely, but there's a nice little upward flow to these earnings estimates, and especially this year. But you've already had the stock spike to $24 anyway, but it's come down. And if you notice, stocks come down after a beat, but these EPS estimates are holding in there. And again, however, 25%, pretty sure I got that number right, of their building is done in the great state of Florida, my friends. So you know what that means. Hurricanes. They definitely have a little bit of an interruption with Irma. Now the question is how much of an interruption. From the reports that I've read, everybody's pretty much expecting them to beat, but they're not 100% sure about the guidance for next quarter. They're expecting better margins this quarter. This quarter is going to be good, but it's next quarter. And what worries me about the stock is that they've had this situation where they beat and then sold off. But here's another thing. Without getting into the nitty-gritty, the Trump tax plan, if it happens, would be beneficial to all things real estate. So home builders, REITs, all these things. And again, I'm not going to go into details because we could spend another hour on that alone. But it's supposed to be advantageous for these guys, okay? So let's see. All right, so that's the price consensus EPS surprise. What is it telling us? I'm not quite sure why this happened, even though the estimates are up, right? So sometimes that presents an opportunity, a sell-off in the face of these raising EPS estimates. It's typically a good thing. So the detailed estimates page, Zacks ranked number 3, hold right now. Got a value and growth style scores of A. Not something you typically see all the time. They're reporting after the bell today. It's like I said, I'm just jamming everything into the last minute. It's going to be one of those weeks, guys. I'm just scrambling all week, pretty much. Let's look at the revenues. This is where you should be excited. 22% revenue growth for the current quarter. Next quarter looks like 1454. Current year, 1957. Next year, 1049. Solid growth numbers here across the board. And that's on the revenue side. How does that translate to EPS? Current quarter EPS only 11.3, but look at next quarter, 81% EPS growth slated. I don't care about my Microsoft points, Microsoft. Current year, 50.56, and the next year, 22.24. So solid EPS growth, despite maybe not getting the same thing from the revenue side. But what's happened? So 60 days ago, you had some bullishness, some serious bullishness. But over the course of the last week, the bears have come out, dropped their numbers. This is likely a hurricane-related issue. But what's the overall impact? The consensus has gone from 48 to 47 for the current quarter, 74 to 73 for next quarter, $1.69, 70, back to $1.69 for the current year, 205 up to 206 for next year. So not a dramatic move here. And if you look at the recent surprises, 7 cents, a penny, 3 cents, 3 cents. So some decent stuff going on. All right. Yes, guys, my musical choice today, very relaxed and chill. I need it on days like today when HAIQ is plummeting through the subfloor, not even the floor, the subfloor, into the toilet of existence right now. So I'm a little fired up this morning. All right. Let's take a look at the options chain. You know what? No, we're not going to take a look at the options chain. Let's take a look at the options chain. We're already here, right? As always, let's do the side-by-side view so we can measure this up. We're going to go out to the October expiration. 22s, ladies and gents. See what we have. Oh, come on, man. Bar chart. I mean, really? Really? Really bar chart? All right, now that we got it back, 22s. Let's try this again before I was so rudely interrupted by bar chart. 71 by 75, we're going to call that 73s on the at the money call, at the money puts. 68s by 70. It's $1.43 divided by the 22. That's 6.5% they're looking for out of shares of KB Homes. All right, now let's look at what we have going on in our G14 classified stuff. Yeah, Jeff, it blows up. It's, you know, I pick a lot of stocks. I have a lot to look at, man. And yeah, JBL is doing well, and we get these, you know, on Live Trader, but sorry about that, guys. We've got a dog coming over here whining. Man, dogs, sometimes, I'm telling you, I spoil this dog so much, and then he thinks that he can just like whine to get my attention, whatever he wants, and that's just not how life works. So you got to give the puppies tough love every once in a while and send them to their spots, and make a real mean face at them. They just get out of line, you know what I mean? And you got to resist the cute temptation because they're so adorable. But like you have to give them a mean face because otherwise they'll just be little brats. All right, so let's look at the revenue here. Talked about this before. Real solid growth 2013 through 2016. But what are we looking at for 2017? Again, great. 19.57. Slowings in 2018. I don't think that the market's going to be so worried about 2018. They're just not going to be fixated on it. They're going to worry more about what's happening immediately, right? We just don't wait that long for things. All right, back to the consolidated surprise. This is going to tell us what has been the move on KB Homes. 5.6, 2.6, 2.4, nothing, 2.5, 2. They're pricing in 6%, guys. Now look at here. November 2015 really moved. May 2015 really moved. February really moved. So there's been some big moves historically, but it hasn't happened in quite some time. You're talking November 2015 quarter was the last time that these guys moved a significant amount. But I will note on this May quarter, we can go back to this price consensus and EPS surprise chart so you guys can see. Even though it didn't happen right away, maybe, right? And guys, this is the other thing. These arrows, you don't know where these start. This could start here, and it was this spike up that they're talking about, right? And then it came down. So I use these charts as loose sort of guides, right? But, you know, they're not, this isn't laser. So what this is telling me, though, is that the stocks have a tendency to give you some post-earnings drift. Doesn't necessarily move immediately, but it trends. So that's why I think it's pricing in 6.5%. So my initial sort of visceral reaction to this was looking at 6.5 and being like, yo, there's no way they're going to move 6.5, right? Based on what I'm seeing. However, after looking at that tendency to catch some post-earnings drift, perhaps they will move a little bit. So going out and messing in this October chain, I'm okay with. We could even go later if we wanted to. We can go out to November. And November's cool too because we're still getting the 22s, the 24s, the 20. So we're getting all of these strikes even if we go out to November. And don't worry, guys. I'll come back in the October. Heck, let's stay in October because I know you guys want the short. Gave you. Let's stick here, okay? Let's do this because we did this for JBL. We got a few weeks out, right? Let's just go ahead. Let's look at this. So, from a technical perspective, do we see any area? I mean, literally, just overhead, we've got some resistance. And then the other real hard resistance level is just below 24, really. So, you could probably sell calls outside of 24. And you could probably sell puts out underneath 20. That's where the 200-day moving average is. And we could probably squash this thing with a condor. Or, and that's assuming that, you know, you don't catch doesn't start to drift in one direction. But we have gotten some head fakes. But let's see if there's any juice out there even. And if you go out, you know, if you go out to November, not much, right? Not even in November there's much. You're talking, oh, well, 16 on the negative end, 15 on the negative end, right? And then 14 on this end. So that's 28 you can get on the condor. Probably not that attractive. And then if you're in this expiration, it's even worse. We can only get 8 cents for selling out of the money calls here. It's not worth it, guys. 10 cents on this side. Probably a lower risk of it getting hit. But I don't think that there's anybody out there that wants to have 90 cents at risk or 80 cents at risk if you do a condor to make 20 cents. Make 25% on a condor. I don't know too many of you that want to do that, okay? So another thing that we could do, let's get back to side by side. Good old-fashioned strangle, right? Where you sell the at-the-money call, you sell the at-the-money put. And then we can protect ourselves. Let's see what this one looks like, shall we? Now, we are just in the October expiration. So look at this, guys. In two parts, right? So you'd be selling the call at the money, selling the put at the money, and then you'd have to buy out of the money and buy out of the money, okay? So what does this look like, guys? 65 cents. So what you're going to get for selling this at the money call. It's going to cost you wait, hang on. Sorry, guys. Let me. Yeah, this is bid and ask. Okay, good. Sorry. Just wanted to make sure what columns we were looking at. So in 2 steps, short call spread here. So you're going to get 65 cents for this, and then maybe this will cost you 11 cents. So 54 cents. So what you can get by selling this short call spread. And if at the same time we go short a put spread over here, 74 by 78. That means we can sell it for 76. Let's say this costs us 16. So that means 60 cents. That's what we're going to get here. Okay, you following me? So our total net credit here is going to be 114. All right. So let's look at that again. Put this on the calculator so you can see it. So 114 is the total net credit that you get on this. Now, what's the most money that you could lose? Well, you could lose on either end, right? If this call spread ends up, if the call it gets all the way, or the stock gets all the way to 24, you lose max on your call spread, but you make the max on this put spread, right? Now, we already know that the most money that you can make is this 114, which is the premium that you took in. So basically, you take in that 114, but now you're going to owe 2. So that is, in fact, your max loss, and it happens on either side. So that's even if it goes all the way up to 30 or all the way down to 10, it doesn't matter. Your max loss is just going to be $2. But you already took in $1.14. So 86 cents is the amount of risk that you're going to have that you could actually lose. Okay? So 114 is what you're going to take in. And the max you could lose is 86. And that's also going to have to be how much money you're going to have in the account to do this, right? So that's what your leverage is going to need to be. Is 86 cents is what you're going to have to put up for this. And 114 is what you're immediately going to get as a net credit. Okay? So in that case, what you want to have happen is the stock to stay as close to 22 as possible. All right? So the way that you have to end up messing with this is you wait for the reaction after earnings. If it starts to creep up after earnings, then you might want to close the bottom end of this. And then if it starts to creep back down, then you look to close the top end of this. So this is something that you're gonna have to manage a little bit. Okay. The other thing is you could potentially roll it out if it starts to go against you up here. You can always kick that can down the road, roll it out, and manage it. So this is something that you're gonna have to manage. Okay. Now, we haven't been managing these things every day because we simply just don't have the capability really to do it in an effective manner. So I'm still trying to figure out a way that we could have these sort of like live and be followed on a daily basis. They really need to be followed on a daily basis. This particular kind of trade, right? Whereas the other ones, it's kind of like, well, if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. These are much different, okay? I think personally. Now time is still on your side on these, right? So you don't want to close out something like this just for the sake of closing it out. But what will happen is if the stock doesn't move a lot immediately following earnings, you're getting a lot of this implied volatility inside of these, in this put and this call on the short side. It's going to evaporate because you have the major event risk that's happening right away. So there is a chance you get a 114, and then you may be able to get, close it at 50 cents tomorrow or whatever it is, I'm all about this follow on Discord or follow, but do you guys know what I'm trying to get at? Like a place where I can enter an actual trade and it stays sort of posted forever for life, Can I pin something to Discord? I guess I can. I probably can, huh? So I need to look into these things. And then with Twitch, can I do that too? Like I have a permanent thing that I have to see. There's a lot, man. There's a lot going on, and it's just me trying to figure it all out. You guys are great resources, though. Jeff, I appreciate the stuff that you've been sending me with the Discord and the Twitch and that stuff. So we're gonna keep trying at this. But anyway, so let me give my official then. So I'm officially gonna say, because of the murkiness, because I think that they beat, but then I think next quarter doesn't look so great. What's the official trade that prays? Is this sort of strangle? And this is I pin on Twitter, but I can only pin one thing on Twitter. Pando, can I pin 30 things on Twitter? Can I pin each one of these trades on Twitter and then update them? You know? Strangle. So this is 22. This is going to be the October. Twitch, you can't unless you activate account and switch on broadcast with Pinterest. Pinterest. Can we incorporate? I'd like to have one place where we can get this all sorted together. It's like my one go-to, and boom, there it is. You know? We'll figure it out. We'll keep looking into it. October 20th. 22. Okay, so short. 22-24 call spread. Short. 22-20 put spread. 114 net credit. So there we go. Oh, look at Pando's logged in to Zach's Live Trader. I'm logged in to Zach's Live Trader. We've got a double. He's not my doppelganger. Will the real Dave Bartosiak please stand up? There's an idea, different sub room, and then I could pin it each time, and then I could get rid of the sub room. That would help me. I mean, I'm looking for something that's going to help me to constant communication, but no, I hear you. We'll figure something out, guys. Let's figure it out. Let's do it. I do. I like it. Oh, good news. Well, no, I don't want to announce that to the world. Actually, let's not announce that. But I can announce this. I may be moving. And that's going to be great because if I do move, we should know within the next few weeks if we're moving that I'm going to have my separate room just for the video production, which will include a green screen and camera and everything. So, okay, good boy. So it's going to be a lot more fun. And then I'll have the camera set up too. So I'm going to show my face more, right? Because you guys aren't offended by me sitting in polos, are you? I feel like before people didn't want me to be in polo, or the powers that be want me to be in a suit and tie when I'm talking to you guys. I just think it's overkill. Newsflash: I'm not wearing a suit and tie every day when I'm here. Okay, yeah, I'm staying in Florida. All that's staying. All that is nothing is. It would just be a different part of Florida. Further inland, closer to where my girl works, is pretty much what we would do. So, that's what. Yes, training socks will return. It's gonna be. It's great. So, okay, yeah. So here with HAIQ, let me just go back to this. I'm just expressing frustration. Yeah, I agree. It's like, yo, I'm hearing it. I'm where. Oh my God, this is just getting worse. I just can't. I have to. I look like such a you know what right now. For having this. This is incredible. I like that, cosplay a different theme. It's a great idea, but that takes a lot of effort, and I don't make that much effort. Not when it comes to my outfit. I mean, I literally it's a polo. I rock a polo. I just wear a polo, throw a polo on. That's what I do. 'Cause like I said, I'm not gonna get up in a suit. I just do so much content. It's prohibitive. I'm not gonna sit here and put on a. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So that's why I go off camera. But I feel like there's times like right now when I'm on this diatribe where I could easily be on camera and it would be no problem. You know what I mean? Wouldn't be a problem. Okay. All right, boys. I gotta get out of here. I have to take care of this stinking dumpster fire that is HAIQ right now. We do have it in home run, and this is I have to sell it. This is it. I have to dump this piece of garbage. I can't even. I want to just go on an expletive-ridden tirade right now about this, and I want to call up this company and yell at them, and I want to beat somebody in the face. One of them being myself. I think I'm going to do a whole video explanation on HIIQ specifically for my home run people, because I feel like I owe it to them, and just show them what I saw and why we got into this mess. I don't know what the heck is going on with this thing, man. I am at a loss. So here, we'll do this real quick. Maybe, you know what? This is what I'm going to do also. Give me a second. We're going to do, this is going to be cool. Hang on, guys. I'm not going away. I'm just doing something cool. All right, everybody, just wanted to give a quick video update here on HIIQ and explain what's happening. You know, we still got our people live that were here for my video earlier, but this is the explanation of what I saw and why it is what it is that I can do better in this video, I guess, because you can hear the frustration in my voice. It's so upsetting. I have country music on in the background just to calm me down. That's right. So, how apropos, too. So, the 50-day. Okay, so first we get this big run-up. The stock comes down, dips the wick under the 50-day, finds a bid, no problem, boom, okay? Then we get the disastrous day. And the Seeking Alpha article, and that's right here. And intraday, boom, we're at the 200-day, okay? And I do the research, and I find out what the real deal is, and basically I'm not going to say it's complete and total nonsense, but it's something that was already disclosed that got called to attention again, okay? And so here I see the stock start to come back a little bit, and then it retreats a little, and it's flirting with the 200-day, right? And my whole reasoning into all of this was, well, okay, it's at the 200 days, near the 200-day. We know that mid-October, this madness with the Florida, Bureau of Insurance or whatever, the insurance department, whatever you want to call it. Again, I'm so frustrated. I can't even speak in complete sentences right now. There will be a resolution. There's a date for when there's supposed to be a resolution. And analysts are coming out and they're reiterating their buy ratings. The company's coming out and they are reissuing their guidance, and they're talking about how strong the company is and everything, and the numbers are there. So when I'm looking at the numbers on this thing and I'm seeing us getting shaken down, all I can think is just like, what on earth? Why is this stock going down? This is where I made the biggest mistake, okay? My big mistake was trying to argue with what the market's doing. It doesn't matter that the numbers are what they are and it looks like it's going to hang in there, it's going to bounce back. It doesn't matter. The market doesn't like this stock right now. They are beating the stock over the head right now, okay? So basically what the market is saying is, you know what, HIIQ management, you shouldn't have even allowed this to become an issue. It shouldn't even get this close where there is some other thing that's happening in the future that, that these licenses are hinging in the balance, and that you put together some kind of timeline with the Bureau or with the Florida Insurance Department. Like, it shouldn't have even reached this point, okay? And that's why we're having this day today, all right? Now, yesterday in Home Run, I made a similar rant. Granted, it wasn't a video, but I made a similar rant. And now you've got this nasty dip down, which has totally destroyed the bottom end of this, and this looks terrible. So you wake up, I said this before, a broker friend of mine said sometimes you wake up on Monday and the mice are all dead. This is just a situation where the market's forcing our hand. I probably in retrospect, I mean, this is the thing. It's tough to say I would have done this much differently. I see the support at the 200-day. Intraday spike down. And I guess it didn't bounce back up immediately. I should have gotten out of it, but this was an inside day yesterday after, coming underneath the 200-day. And then this morning, they just kill it. They just crush it. I'm going to have to sell this in home run because I just can't. It just can't be there. It just can't. Now, if this wasn't home run, if this is just Dave Bartosiak's portfolio, I'm upset at this stock. I would look at it and I would add more to it. I really would. Not a lot more though. Okay, so let's assume that this was only a 5% position in a portfolio. Now it drops down like this, so you gave up half of that. Now it's a 2.5% position in the portfolio, right? I would throw a few hundred, not a few $100, but not a few hundred shares. It's all in proportion to what you had, right? So I would have no problem with longer term money being thrown at this particular stock. But this is now a scraping barrel bottom value play, which you must have a lot of patience with. That's what this has become, okay? And you just basically hope that the market forgets about all this and whatever, okay? Home run still has a huge aspect of market timing in it. I'm going to have to dump this because I look like an idiot with a negative 57% on the boards. And that's where we're at right now. So I'm going to wipe the egg off of my face, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was the lowest tick. If this was the lowest day on the lowest tick of the lowest everything for this stock. It would not surprise me one bit. So there you go, guys. A lot of stuff that management should be doing, absolutely, and they're not. Disappointment, but that's why they've got all sorts of madness heading their way. Total steaming dumpster fire here, and I apologize for it, okay? But that's the nature of the beast. That's home run. It happens sometimes. It's very rare that it happens. I can count. I don't know the last time I had something ugly happen in a home run like this. It's been a while. If ever. I don't think it's ever happened like this before. We've had some bad ones, but this takes the cake. So there's my HIIQ rant. So if you have any other questions, you know where to get me. Okay, guys, I had to just do that. I recorded that within our little diatribe here. But I'm still here with you. I just stopped the recording. All right, so I'm going to. I thought it happened a home run. It's happened. Yeah. Anyway, all right. I gotta. That's it. That's all I got. So I'm gonna try and control this 5-alarm dumpster fire, and we'll go from there. So, congrats on JBL for those of you who have some of that. Feel free to rip it if it gets, if you have a nice tidy profit there. If not, you can hang on and hope that short call runs out a little bit on you. And let's go. Hopefully, KB Homes stays sideways. Okay, guys. I'm not gonna do a morning after tomorrow, but I will be in the chat. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I'll do some impromptu stuff. I am gonna do a Dave's Daily Dive tonight, but I think I'm just gonna do it the traditional way, and we'll go from there. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me here on Zach's Live Trader. I will see you all in the chat. Have a good one.